Now here we have a Crown SP 3500. And we open the doors to get to the steering gearbox. Right here is your steer motor, and this is the gearbox. So we're going to remove these 6 screws, and there's a drain plug right here and also a fill plug. So let's get these screws off, and you have to remove the whole assembly. So you might have to take a tap or hammer or a punch and kind of tap on this edge to get it raised up in the air. As you can see, I've done that. Now we remove it from the truck, and that's what it looks like. You got the steering gears on the inside, got oil, gear oil, and the bottom of the motor. You just make sure everything looks tight, there's no damage. So now what we do, since we have a fill plug right here, but you don't really have a drain plug, so we have to use a siphon to siphon all the old gear oil out. So here's my siphon. Start siphoning the gear oil out. Get it all empty. Then we just clean up the area before we install the new gear oil. So it should look something like this. Got most of the oil out, and we're going to fill it up to this level about right here where the oil can run in between the gears. Most times, depending on the truck's application, you can just use regular gear oil, or in this case hydraulic oil. But if you have a freezer truck, you want to make sure you use low temperature hydraulic oil or gear oil because of the cold and low temperatures. So let's go ahead and top off the gear oil. So now we got our gear oil installed, and as you can see, I got it topped off right to the hole with a check plug. Remember, the check plug's here, so there's no near sense of removing it because we got the level right there, as you can see that. So now let's go ahead and install the motor, which is here, back onto the truck. And also, just one side note, that when you're installing, just make sure that the gasket is not damaged all the way around. Make sure you have no cracks, or you may have to replace it. So our gasket looks good, so we'll go ahead and install a motor. One more note I might add, that this spline here, you have to make sure it's lined up because it's got a shaft, it's got a key weight in there. That has to be lined up with the motor, as you can see there. And there's the motor shaft, and you can see the spline there. You have to match those up, because if not, it won't fit inside. So I got it perpendicular or to the top of the motor, and our drive unit is at the same level, as you can see right there. So we'll go ahead and install a motor. Now we have the motor sitting back down on its base. Everything looks good. Let's go ahead and install the 6 screws and attach the power cables. We have the 6 screws installed. See right there? This one, that one, and that one. Now attach the power cables. And now we have our power cables right here attached. One and two. I always put a little dot by the first one I take off. That way, you know you're going to put the correct power cable on, because if not, the motor will spin backwards. And that's pretty much it. We've changed the gear oil, which was pretty bad, pretty low. And you want to do this in accordance to the manufacturer specifications and the hours of the truck. So one good note to pass along, this is a SP 3500 with an AC motor. This process is the same for stock picker 3000, 3200, 3400, and a 3500. So that is how you change the gear oil for a steering unit. If you have any comments, leave them in the list below. Subscribe to this channel, and thanks for watching.